Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima and I'm here checking out some PS4 games being played over PS Vita Remote Play. Today is one of the big ones, Grand Theft Auto 5, or in the case I am playing right now, this is Grand Theft Auto Online. This game's control set is a little bit odd. It uses the both sides for added pleasure, which is what I like to call this. So, we're just going to drive down to a survival area that I've marked out on the map. So, the control set for this game is a little bit weird. For driving, it makes perfect sense, honestly. So, the idea is that you can drive around normally using the normal set of buttons, which is L and R, and you've got a handbrake on, what was it, the circle button? No, the square button, I think it was. No. There's a handbrake somewhere, I know there is. And if you want to do something like shoot from your car, well, you use the rear touchpad to do this. It works okay. Mainly, the problem with it is that you have to use the rear touchpad, and the rear touchpad isn't exactly precise, but you can make it work in dire circumstances. If you're trying to do a really hard mission, probably not a good idea to use this system, especially if you're like me and you're on a bike. But if you need to just drive around in like a race or something, well, this will work just fine. Whoa, dearie me. Out of the way. No, apparently I have to go up on this highway. Ow. Hey, no, you, buddy. Also, the touchscreen, apparently there's some use for the touchpad in this, other than bringing up that menu, like using it to change your radio station or something, but you can also just press left to change your radio station and all that. I'm not going to actually turn any licensed music on, because that would be the best way to get bumfucked by Rockstar. So let's see if we can actually get to the survival area. Alright, so here we are in front of Maze Bank. Let's go and actually I'll explain the controls first. So the idea is that you're running around with the X button as normal. Circle, square, triangle, all do what you would expect them to do, right? L and R are your aiming and your firing buttons. That's pretty obvious if you ask me. However, you tap on that side of the screen to stealth, and you tap and hold on this to look backwards. I'm not a fan of this, mainly because this requires swapping weapons and going into cover to be mapped to the rear touchscreen. And honestly, I feel like the game would be a ton better if you could swap these two, but you can't. Let's go and have a look at the options menu just to prove that I'm telling the truth. If we go to the controls, you can see all the controls here, and you can even do some really, really accurate, like, analog stick adjustment. So even if you're playing like first person mode, even if you're playing like, hold on, I think I've got to get out of cover. So even if you're playing like first person mode, you can still make the controls relatively comfortable if you want to play in first person mode. I've got the sensitivity settings fairly low at this point. Just bring up the scope there by tapping on the front touchscreen. But I mean, this would be so much better if it was mapped to the rear touchscreen, because getting into cover and swapping your weapon is a much more common tactic in comparison to using the rear touchscreen. In comparison to using the front touchscreen for looking behind you and crouching in stealth mode. I didn't actually mean to hit join. Wait, did I just walk into the wrong thing? I think I just walked into the wrong thing. So I'm just going to play a little bit of survival to show you how the shooting works. I'll swap between third and first person. I'll just turn off this music real quick, because if I leave that on, that would be a very bad thing indeed. But anyway, we'll just confirm the settings and we'll play by ourselves. Alright, so here we are in front of Maze Bank, and we're going to have to shoot some dudes. Sounds like a fun time. Alright, so I'm just going to get out my favourite carbine. It's a bloody ridiculous looking thing in first person view, that's for sure. So I haven't actually played this survival before, this was just the closest survival I could find. Thankfully you can swap your control scheme between third and first person, but that's something that the whole game does, and not just the remote play. My only real problem with this control scheme is whoever thought it would be a good idea to map two of the most important functions on the rear touchpad and two of the least important functions on the front touchpad. Good lord, that might make me feel sick after a bit. Whoever thought it would be a good idea to map those the way they did and then not let you change them if you have a personal preference was a very silly person indeed, and they probably should have gotten off the drugs for a few minutes. The game itself still works pretty damn well. I can't shoot for shit. Also, combat rolling does nothing in this game. Have you guys ever realized that? It really doesn't. I gotta reload my gun. Oop, there's one. Reload. I'll swap to third person. So yeah, as you can see, the control scheme does work. It is a bit weird that your assisted aim is, like, fixed as on. I'm gonna be attacked from behind in a second, hold on. It's a bit weird that your assisted aim is always turned on while you're in remote play mode. I can understand why that's a thing, but at the same time, I imagine some people who want more of a challenge from Grand Theft Auto shooting might not be a fan of it, but at the same time, I can understand that Rockstar would want people on remote play to be at least partially confident all the time. And it works well enough. I'm probably going to die from this. I'm not really paying that much attention. But it works mostly. I would really like the option to swap the rear touchpad and the front touchpad. Or at least while you're on foot. While you're driving, trying to do a drive-by would be an absolutely terrible idea with the front touchpad. I mean, good lord. Who would in their right mind would do that? Alright, so I survived, and my guy was making a funny face at the bloody mid-round transition screen. Also, my earphone fell out that I used to listen to this a couple of minutes ago. I'm trying to pick it back up. Alright, so, gotta prepare for the next wave. I'll probably just, like, die on this one and call this video to an end. It's been really long as is. I'll probably do a couple of jump cuts here and there, but anyway. I'll just get the health, and I'll go with my heavy shotgun, because why not, right? Why the hell would you suppress a shotgun? I don't know. It just seems like a completely pointless use of your money. Also, I just have to say, being able to change your analog stick sensitivity is a fairly nice thing because of how this game's shooting works. It is kind of annoying that it doesn't save your specific preferences to the Vita and the PS4 controls. It's a minor thing, but at the same time, it's not really that big of a deal. But anything to make remote play better is that's what we're here to do, right? Alright, we're done. So, there's a lot of cops. So, that was a quick look at Grand Theft Auto 5 remote play. It works, and it does the job it needs to. I could wish for a few changes, though, to make it a little bit more efficient. This has been Blue Maxima, and I'll see you all next time.